kill that bird. Okay. This is nature. Nature is always a problem.
Dello quattro mulero, dello quattro mulero, dello quattro mulero, mamita mia.
Javier, you're not making shoes now.
My shoes? Tengo tantos que reparar, eh? El suelo
No, forget the shoes, man. These are bandidos.
Bandidos.
Estás enojado. You're angry.
The main character is a man who makes films. He made films. He made a film that changed people's lives. And my feeling was he didn't take responsibility for the changes he had made in people's lives. And my feeling was that films are like books were for Cervantes in the 17th century. If you read too many of them, they change your lives. If you see too many films, they alter your lives. So you have to be very responsible of the kind of films you make. You've got to be honest and truthful. And I find I don't make films about fantasy. I make films about the battle between reality and fantasy. And that is where life should be, between the two things, because reality says, oh, this is life. No, life is more than that. Fantasy takes you away, but you can't, if you escape totally, there's no real life. And I think so many movies now are about fantasy. They're not about reality. So they're not things you can learn from. It's, and that's what bothers me. So my film, Quixote, the main character that Adam Driver plays, he's being punished for making a film and changing people's lives and not taking any responsibility for that.
Why are those men in charge? Sancho.
I'm the director of the film. Everybody thinks I make the film. This is a lie. The illusion of filmmaking is that the director, Spielberg, me, or whoever, is the creator. And I think the director is the only one with maybe the purest vision of what he's trying to do. But like Quixote, he needs Sancho Panza, and you need all these people around you to make it possible. So my Sancho is about 100 people. That's how many Sanchos I have. Filmmaking is all about compromise. It's always about dealing with the financing. It's about dealing with, if you're shooting outside, you're compromising with nature and the reality around you. And things happen all the time, so our compromises. The point is, you can never compromise about the essential elements, the reasons you're making a film. The idea is, hello, and we will compromise for a moment, and I'll be... Jesus, I got so much to say, but listen, there's not fucking bells going on, I can't hear myself. Jesus, I never... See, that is about compromise. And I don't like compromising, and when I'm making a film and things go wrong, like the bells ringing in the middle of a very important, subtle scene, I go crazy. But that's the reality. And you have to just deal with that all the time. And I think everything I just said while the bells were ringing was probably the most important part of this interview. And I can't remember what it was because I was so busy fighting the bells.
Yes! Whoa!
It's not a matter of acceptable or not acceptable. It is reality. Films cost a lot of money. It's not like being a painter. That costs, right? Being a writer costs nothing. But being a filmmaker is an expensive business. So either you make your film on your iPhone for $10, which you can do, but nobody will probably see it, except that you can put it on your Facebook page or Instagram and people could see it. And that's what's interesting about the internet. because you can make little films and get them out there. They won't make money, they won't make you famous. They might surprise somebody, and that person might say, I want to give that person a chance to make a proper film.
There, now a bit sticky. So, and already she's twice as beautiful as she was before. Voila!
When I make a film, I'm really trying to show different ways of looking at the world, and maybe somebody will follow that direction and find something even more interesting. It's the world we live in with so much media pressing down saying this is the world, this is reality, and I don't want that limitation, and I want people to learn to use their imagination to imagine different worlds.
Perfecto! Quédate vive! Quédate vive!
And that is why Don Quixote is such an important character. His view of the world is crazy. It's noble, it's beautiful. Reality keeps knocking him down. Reality keeps smashing, he keeps getting back up. He's one of the great heroes of literature as far as I'm concerned, and people should learn from that. You don't just say, I want to make a film and go out and make a film. You have to find ways of achieving that, and you'll fail most of the time. Filmmaking is about failure, just like Don Quixote is about failure.
Stencil this on the sides of buildings everywhere. Have you seen this?
Mr. Cole,
Have you seen this?
why don't you just take your time?
Well, I used to go to Hollywood and talk to some ridiculously stupid executive and I would try to tell the story. I make a lot of noise, I wave my hands, and I try to make the thing, that's really exciting, boom, 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 tee-ta-ta. And sometimes they are foolish enough to give me the money. Other times, they just look at their watch and say, oh, thank you very much. And it goes on like that. I haven't made a movie in 4 years. I haven't worked in 4 years. So I'm considered a successful filmmaker.
You are Don Quixote.
Okay.
It's only been in the last, well, maybe 2 weeks that I started thinking and writing, and it's the first time in my house here in Umbria that I really sat there and was writing. I was suddenly excited enough to really get going, and I was in Umbria so far away from the reality of Hollywood and filmmaking and raising the money that I could imagine a world that was possible for me to make a movie in. So I have to create a false world to believe in to make myself work.
I am dedicated to chivalry and protection of the weak. Huh?
So I would cut the interview now because I've said everything worth saying.